Okay, let's try to unpack this. We just watched the Giants finish the season with a 34-17 win over the Cowboys.
Yeah, a dominant win.
And I swear, seeing this team look that competent, that functional, it's the single most confusing and frankly terrifying genre of Giants football there is.
It really is. It's this shocking piece of evidence that, there's actually life in this team, but it's buried under what has been a genuinely disastrous 4-13 season.
Exactly. So we're diving into the source material here, a game recap and that brutal season report card to try and make sense of these two completely conflicting feelings.
And we have to figure it out. Was this a real foundation for the future, or was it just fool's gold that cost us a top draft pick?
I'm choosing to be excited.
Yeah.
I have to be. For once, they gave us something to actually cheer for, so we need to understand how we went from, total organizational chaos to a team that just dismantles a rival.
But we have to start with the consequences, because the sources are really clear on this. For all the good feelings from that win, the NFL draft update is in. The Giants can now pick anywhere between number 3 and number 6. That win took the top 2 picks completely off the table.
Of course it did, weighing just enough to confuse the entire narrative. That is the ultimate Giants experience.
Absolutely. And if you think back to how that game even started, it felt like it was going to be another long day.
Oh, it did.
The source material called the first quarter, basically. Field goal, field goal, field goal.
It was a trip to the dentist. That's what it was. Tedious, painful, and we were down 10-6 to Dallas.
Right. The offense was just stumbling around, couldn't find any rhythm.
And you're just sitting there watching, the defense is holding on, trading field goals, and you're thinking, here we go again.
Yep.
Another game where we can't turn good field position into actual touchdowns. It felt like that slow, predictable, painful loss we've seen all year.
Which is exactly what made what happened next so incredible. The source calls it the moment the movie changed.
It really did.
A 96-yard drive in the second quarter.
Yep.
Just sit with that number for a second. 96 yards.
I mean, that requires protection, good play calling, execution, things we just haven't seen all year.
This wasn't just a drive. It was the offense finally showing up with, both efficiency and explosiveness.
Yes. And what I loved, and this is a huge credit to the O-line, we did this without Andrew Thomas.
A great point.
To sustain a drive that long, running and passing, without your best player on the line, that says everything about the effort in that final game.
And the way that drive ended.
Yeah.
It just perfectly captured that shift in energy. It ends with the rookie, Jaxson Dart, hitting Daniel Bellinger for a 29-yard touchdown.
Yeah, the description of the play itself is it's perfect.
It is. It involved a wild little flip improv moment.
Which resulted in Bellinger becoming a runaway shopping cart with rockets.
A runaway shopping cart with rockets.
It's the only way to describe it. It wasn't pretty. It was just pure chaotic effort. He was not going to be denied. Every fan was getting replay on that one.
And just like that, you go into halftime up 16-10. It was a total statement.
It really was. And the second half showed it wasn't a fluke. They came out just as focused.
Yep. Early third quarter, Dart finds Tyrone Tracy Jr. for a 13-yard touchdown.
And they go for 2.
Yeah.
And get it. Suddenly it's 24-10.
Dallas got a score back, but we just closed the door. Ben Sauls hits another field goal. Devin Singletary punches one in late. And that's your ball game, 34-17.
An unbelievable finish.
Yeah.
So now we have to talk about the guys who actually did it. The players who cooked. The guys who might be our foundation.
And you have to start with the rookie quarterback.
You have to. Jaxson Dart, he looked legitimately comfortable out there.
He absolutely did. We've been waiting for this all season. He finished 22 of 32 for 230 yards and 2 touchdowns, plus 32 yards rushing.
That's a leave me alone, I'm developing stat line. That's what that is. But the big number, the really important one, is for the whole year.
Right. With those 2 scores, he finishes his rookie season with 15 touchdown passes.
15. For a rookie who wasn't even supposed to start this year, that is a huge deal.
It gives the next coach, whoever that's going to be, something real to build on. You might have your quarterback question answered, at least for now. That's a massive win.
It changes the entire offseason. But, he didn't do it alone. Tyrone Tracy Jr. finally gave us a running game.
He really did. Tracy had 18 carries for 103 yards on the ground.
And he was catching the ball, too.
8 catches, 56 yards, and a receiving TD. That's 159 total yards from scrimmage. But here's the stat that tells the story of our whole season.
I think I know where you're going with this.
This was the first time all year a Giants player rushed for 100 yards.
The bar was in hell. It was subterranean. To go 16 games without one guy hitting that mark is just It's an organizational failure.
From sure. And for Tracy to come out and do that, it speaks to his talent, but also that maybe, just maybe, the whole unit finally clicked.
Right. And we have to circle back to Bellinger. That runaway shopping cart TD wasn't just a highlight. It tells you something.
It tells you about effort. That wasn't some perfectly drawn up play.
No. It was pure improvisation and just will. The will to score. That's what you need when your team is 3-13.
Speaking of things we desperately needed, can we talk about the kicker?
Oh, let's talk about the kicker, Ben Sauls. We like Ben Sauls.
The stability was just... It was breath of fresh air. He goes 4 for 4 on field goals in the game.
And these were not shaky kicks. The source noted they weren't doink and pray kicks. They were clean. No doubters.
And the math on his season is just beautiful. He finished the year perfect. 8 for 8 on field goals, 7 for 7 on extra points.
A perfect record.
Yeah.
After the drama we've had, finding a guy who doesn't give you a heart attack every time he steps on the field, that is a foundational piece. I'm not even kidding.
I completely agree, but that high note, Dart, Tracy Sauls, now we have to balance it against the rest of the ledger.
Ugh, right, the 4-13 reality.
The win was great, but the season, as the source put it, was like a phone buffering on 1% battery.
That is painfully accurate. And nothing shows the systemic failure of this front office more than the absolute clown show we had at the kicker position before Ben Sauls showed up.
This is where you see the lack of planning. The source has the whole list. They call it the 4-kicker list.
Lay it out for us. The whole depressing saga.
Okay, so the year starts with Graham Gano. He gets hurt, goes on IR.
Okay.
Then they bring in Jude McAtamney. That did not work out. He gets waived.
Right.
Then they sign Young Ho Koo, a veteran guy. And he also gets waived.
And then they find Sauls.
And then finally, they find their superhero, Ben Sauls. 4 kickers.
4 kickers. That is not bad luck. That is a scouting and roster management catastrophe. It's a symptom of an organization that can't get the basics right. And that is why I have zero confidence in who's making the decisions right now.
The optics are just terrible. The 4-13 record speaks for itself.
And yet, after all that,
Yeah.
after that embarrassing record and cycling through specialists like that, we're told Joe Schoen will be leading the coaching search.
Right.
His performance, the roster turnover, the whole kicker mess, none of it inspires any confidence that he should be the one making the most important hire for this franchise's future. It's unbelievable.
And the source material really leans into that. It says that while you have these bright spots, like Dart and Sauls, the offseason questions are already knocking like the FBI.
He should be.
The scrutiny on the entire management structure is intense. Their ability to pick the right coach is now in serious doubt because their track record this year has been so poor.
It's the highest stakes imaginable.
Yeah.
Which brings us all the way back to the draft. They played great, they found a core, but they hurt their draft position.
And we have to repeat it. They finished 4-13 on a 2-game winning streak and are now picking somewhere between 3 and 6, which leads to the source's big blue T question.
The ultimate fan dilemma. Give it to us.
The choice is this. Option A, you end 4-13, but you feel like you found your franchise QB in Dart and your kicker in Sauls. Or option B, you lose those last 2 games, you luck up a top pick, and you start over with maximum chaos. A total blank slate.
It's option A. For me, it has to be option A. You take the foundation, you take the development.
Or the higher pick.
Absolutely. We might have just found the 2 hardest positions to fill. A quarterback and a reliable kicker in same draft class. That known quantity is worth so much more than a slightly better draft slot.
It's the pragmatic view. You're taking certainty over potential because the risk with option B is that this same front office, the one with the 4-kicker list, might just mess up the top pick anyway.
Exactly. I would much rather build on the competence we saw in those last 2 games than trust this current management team with a total teardown, which is what maximum chaos would be. Dart and Sauls are real. They are tangible assets.
So to recap this whole confusing finale, we walk away knowing Dart looks like a real signal caller, Tracy broke the 100-yard curse, and we found relief in Ben Sauls.
We have a core. Despite the record, we have a core.
Which brings us to the final thought, and it builds right on what the source material suggests. These 2 wins at the end of the season. It's like acing the final after failing every single quiz.
Yeah.
So the big question is, what's the real long-term impact? Does this temporary feeling of competence just mask the bigger systemic problems that the 4-13 record exposed? Or is this a genuine foundation that a new coach can actually build on? It's that fine line between momentum and denial.
And for you listening, as you think about the offseason, ask yourself this. Is finding Ben Sauls, Mr. Automatic, the single most valuable thing that happened this entire 4-13 season? Because solving your kicker problem after burning through 4 guys is one of your biggest victories. What does that really say about the rest of the operation?
Just wanted to say a massive thank you for tuning in to Big Blue Tea.
Absolutely. And, a huge shout out always to Black Freezy TV.
Oh,
For
definitely.
the fantastic programming, the production, everything that makes this possible.
Yep, their work behind the scenes is just really appreciated.
It really is.
This has been Big Blue Tea.